Hey guys, my name is Dan and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Arsenal versus Everton at home. A pretty important game, I think, really, in terms of the weekend and other results. And yeah, it's a disappointing game. I'm not going to try. I'm going to try and not rant too much about it. Obviously I was really annoyed straight after the game, but now I've cooled down a little bit. I've had time to sleep and analyse. Yeah, just it's a disappointing game, to be honest with you. I mean, we dominated the game really, quite convincingly, as we should at home. Everton are a trash team, but they have had a couple of decent results this season, especially recently. And they're very good defensively. They do a lot of work on set pieces, just like us. So it's a difficult game to kind of predict, really. I mean, at Everton at home, we should always be beating them, but they are a tough team. Sean Dyche is a good defensive coach. I mean, they play absolutely attrition football. It's really difficult game to watch. For us as well, we were nowhere near the best we could be in this game. The guy for me specifically, I think, was having a very average game, an off game. And I think that's why he was substituted in the second half. But yeah, it was just sloppy. So many misplaced passes. We couldn't really create much going forward. Bukayo Saka was pretty decent. I think he was probably our best player, but even he had a trouble breaking past all of their defence. The whole team was in their box pretty much the whole game. So yeah, it's difficult to play against those teams. We struggle against those teams, and yeah, I mean, going forward, like I said, we were lacking that end product. And even then, even when we did get the shot off and we got some space, it just never went our way. And it felt like we didn't have the luck in this game either. Because we did create a couple of opportunities that we really should have scored from. It's just, an unlucky bounce here, just wide there. It got to like the hour mark, and I'm thinking to myself, it's going to be one of those games. I just hope we don't concede a BS last minute goal that we lose the game. But we did. We kept the clean sheet. We got the point, I guess. Liverpool dropping points is huge. We're 6 points behind them now. They've got a game in hand. I don't really count game in hands, but they still do have one. And yeah, we're only like a point behind Chelsea as well. Again, they've got a game in hand too. But we're third in the league right now. We're 2 points clear. I don't think it's time to panic yet. I've seen the Arsenal fan base is, on the online fan base is some of the most reactionary people ever. People already calling for Arteta to be sacked. I think that's just atrocious, in my opinion. But having said that, Liverpool slipped up this weekend. Man City are having a really torrid time. I don't think they've won a game in like 2 months or whatever, but and we haven't capitalised on it. We should be we should be putting as much distance between us and City as possible, and we haven't been able to do that. So yeah, really disappointing. If we'd won this game, we'd be in much better position. We'd be 2 points closer to Liverpool. We'd be above Chelsea as well. Chelsea having a phenomenal season. Yeah, so it's disappointing. Get it? I was so angry at the time. It was a poor game. It was such a tough watch. Not only is Everton uber defensive, uber dead ball, whatever, but we were sloppy as well. So frustrating. One of the most frustrating games of watching Arsenal for a while, actually. Even when we, dropped points at Newcastle a few months back, a couple of months back, we still played alright in that game. It's just, we conceded a stupid goal. But this game, we were sloppy. No one was at their best. Except for maybe David Raya, but he didn't have too much to do. Our defence was pretty comfortable, to be honest with you. Although the last 10 minutes, you're thinking, oh, here we go, Everton are going to get a bullshit goal. But we held out and got a point which is better than nothing. And like I said, we're only 6 points off. We've played 16 games. You know what I mean? Like there's 24 games left to go. My maths is terrible, by the way. And yeah, so we've got so much more football to play. We just need to start bouncing back now. We're third in the Champions League table as well. Let's not forget that. We played midweek, and maybe that took some of the emphasis out of this game. I don't know. And yeah, this is a really heavy part of the season now. We're gonna be playing a hell of a lot of games between now and mid January. Starting with two games against Palace, won the EFL Cup midweek, and then obviously in next weekend at Palace as well. And Palace is always difficult away. I think we've struggled there a little bit in the last few seasons. And then we've got Ipswich at home, which you kind of want to say that's a winnable game, but Ipswich are doing all right at the moment. They've picked up some quite good form, so that's not going to be a piece of cake. Brentford as well after that, and I think we've got Man United after that. So yeah, the next 3 or so weeks is going to be really tough on the players. And the EFL Cup as well. Let's not forget that. And obviously, the Champions League kicks back on in January. So, but it is what it is. Like, if we could just start winning games now, obviously, I think the EFL Cup's a viable tournament for Arteta now. If we can win the EFL Cup, that'd be great. Touch wood, because everyone's like, oh, he hasn't won trophies. Well, it's a decent trophy to win, especially if you're trying to compete with the league as well. And again, we've still got the FA Cup to play for as well. And like I said, we've got 2 games left in the Champions League. Dinamo Zagreb's next. You'd want to say that's a winnable game. If we can win that, then we're pretty much guaranteed straight through the knockout stages. And then it's all to play for. So, yeah, I'll just disagree with everyone writing our season off already. Yes, it would have been cool if we'd won it yesterday and got 2 points close to Liverpool, but they still got a game in hand. And they still would have been like 4 points ahead of us. So it's not too bad. They dropped points. Robertson's not going to be available for them, so it could be a start of a little bit of a difficult one for Liverpool. They've still, I think they've still got to wait the end of their new coach's honeymoon period. I think that's kind of bursting a little bit now. So hopefully they can go on a bit of a run where they drop points and we can just start winning games. We've proven that we can have 2 or 3 difficult games but then go on a really good winning run. There's no reason why we can't beat Palace twice and then go beat Ipswich at home and then go beat Brentford. They're all difficult games, sure, but there's no reason why we can't do that. So hopefully we get Calafiori back. Hopefully the team can just start clicking again. I think to be fair, Odegaard in particular, I think looked jaded yesterday. He didn't look quite as energetic as he normally is. We were just off it, and I think at the same time you need luck to go your way sometimes, and it didn't really work that way for us. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. There's not too much to talk about in this game, to be honest. 0-0. I just more of my reaction after the game. So many people online. I mean, people talk about AFTV. Everyone has their opinion on AFTV, but there are people online on Twitter, especially, that just have extreme reactions to things. And if you think it's best for Arsenal to sack Arteta, then I don't know what to say to you, because that's just a ludicrous opinion to have. Teams slip up. They mess up a little bit because they go through rough patches, and if this is the extent of our rough patch this season, then so be it. Again, we've got 2/3 of the season left to go, so anything can happen, and we're still in for a bunch of trophies. So yeah, it is what it is. Let me know what you think of the game. Have I not mentioned anyone that you thought had a good game? I think Timber did alright. I think Declan Rice did alright when he was on. There's Kelly, the young 18-year-old. I think he's brilliant. I think he's slotted in right away and straight away, and I think he's gonna have a really big season for us. It's just attacking wise, man. Jesus, I just don't have any faith in him. Trossard's, I would say, is having a poor season. Martinelli too. I have to be fair. I just feel like Martinelli offers us a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more intensity in charging to their goal, but he's off the pace right now, and he just can't. He needs another goal to Martinelli. Saka's taking up the whole of our attacking threat right now, and if Saka's not going to score, apparently we don't score. So we just need some of the other players to step up a little bit. Odegaard needs to get a goal, in my opinion. He needs to start scoring more. But yeah, hopefully this is going to be glaring issues going into January. We can sign a couple of players, hopefully. I don't think Jesus should stay at the club. I don't think Sterling should stay at the club. I don't know why we got Sterling in the first place. But it is what it is. We'll have to wait and see what happens in January. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you thought about the game. Like I said, what do you think about our season? Chances of winning silverware? Where do you think we should prioritise? Do you think City are going to bounce back now? Do you think Liverpool going to go on a bit of a slump? Let me know in the comments. We'll have a chat about it. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. I will be back probably later next week. It'll be after Wednesday, I think, because of my work schedule. But sometime next week, I'll come back and talk about the two Palace games. I'll cover the EFL game in the next episode of the Premier League reaction videos. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, it won't be until around about this time next week. So take a look out for that. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Have a good week, guys. Adios.